Hey friends, it's Ryan, and welcome back to the KidMin Word. It's Tuesday. How's your week going? I hope that you're having a great week. We are continuing in Ephesians chapter number 5, and today we're going to read several verses. We're going to start with verse number 3. Paul says, "But sexual immorality and all impurity or covetousness must not even be named among you, as is proper among saints. Let there be no filthiness, nor foolish talk, nor crude joking, which are out of place, but instead let there be thanksgiving. For you may be sure of this, that everyone who is sexually immoral or impure or who is covetous, that is an idolater, has no inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and God. Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of these things the wrath of God comes upon the sons of disobedience. Therefore, do not become partners with them." This is one of those passages where you just kind of have to slow down a little bit because it is so direct and clear. And it's loving, even though it feels strong. What Paul is saying that there are some things that just don't belong in your life anymore. And it's not because God is trying to limit you, but because he's calling you to something better. Remember, Paul says, as is proper among saints. That's your identity. You're not who you used to be. And what stands out to me in these verses is how Paul moves from big things to everyday things. He talks about impurity, but then he talks about speech like foolish talk and crude jokes. Why? Because what fills your heart eventually flows out of your mouth, right? Let me illustrate it this way. There's a KidMin leader that I met at the KidzMatter conference this fall. His name is Mike. Great guy. He loves serving. People love being around him. But he told me that over time he started to notice something, that his conversations were drifting. Nothing extreme, nothing that would shock people, just small things. Sarcasm that cut a little too deep. Jokes that maybe crossed a line. Comments that really didn't reflect who he wanted to be. And one day, a kid in his ministry repeated something that he had said, and it hit him. Not because it was terrible, but because it just wasn't right. It didn't reflect Jesus. And Mike told me that in that moment, he realized that what I've been allowing in is now coming out. And that is what Paul is warning us about. What you tolerate in your private life will eventually surface in your public leadership. It always does. And here's the thing. This isn't about being perfect. None of us are going to be perfect. It's about alignment. It's this. Is my life lining up to who God has called me to be? Because Paul gives us a replacement, not just a restriction. So he says, instead of all this, let there be thanksgiving at the end of verse 4. You know, gratitude changes your tone. It changes your perspective. It changes what comes out of your mouth. You can't be full of thanksgiving and full of negativity at the same time. So maybe today, instead of just asking, what do I need to remove in my life? You ask, what do I need to replace it with? Like more gratitude, more awareness, more intentionality. Because God isn't trying to take something from you. He is shaping something in you. So today, take a minute. Is there anything in your life that doesn't belong? Anything that you've allowed in that you know is slowly shaping you in the wrong direction? If so, bring it to the Lord, because he's calling you higher, not to burden you, but to free you. I'll see you again tomorrow for our next KidMin Word.